Hey, LeBron, as somebody that's climbed that ladder and the scoring ladder, what's the significance of Carmelo doing it in a win like this and doing it in such a rhythm, and including even the shot that passed Moses?
I think it always feels sweeter, obviously, and for him to move, into ninth place all time in the scoring leaderboard is special. And usually when some of my friends have these kind of achievements, I text them or call them or FaceTime and then put something on social media. In this case, I got to do it in person, because he's my teammate now. So they made it special for me.
And is there a certain thing that just also you having passed Moses, right, a bit ago, is there something that you guys can share with that, even if it's just a head nod or, in your experience contrasting with his throughout the league?
No. I mean, when the announcement happened, obviously we've been playing the game for quite a while. We don't really have our mind set on moving to any leaderboard or whatever. When it happens, it happens. And, we try to take as much as we can in at that moment. But when our RP announcer said it and the crowd went crazy, he happened to be sitting right next to me on the bench, and I just congratulated him, told him how proud I am of him, obviously it probably was overwhelming for him, even with a guy that's had so many accomplishments in his career.
Hey, LeBron. There are going to be moments throughout this year where, we've talked about the overall age of this team, and there are going to be markers that come up that sort of bring that into focus. I'm curious what it was like for you tonight to play against someone who played on your son's high school basketball team, and kind of if that even registered to you at all tonight.
Well, absolutely, because I'm aware of everything that's going on the floor. I looked at Zaire a couple of times and I was just like shaking my head inside, just remembering really like a year and a half ago, 2 years, not even full 2 years, he was hitting a game winner to send them to the state championship alongside my son, and going to the game and supporting Sierra Kane, and 1 year at Stanford, and now he's here. So it's just it's a weird dynamic for myself to see something like that, but happy for the kid, obviously. And but it was definitely, I had a moment for sure.
LeBron, you had that spill in the first half. You were on the floor for a bit. A bunch of your teammates and some of the medical staff came to check on you. What was going through your mind in the moment, and how'd you feel as the game went on after you checked back in?
The first thing I was thinking to myself was not again, obviously, because it was almost kind of similar, but not the same kind of play. A guy falling into my leg, and there's nothing you can do about it. I couldn't get my leg out of there in time, so I just wanted to try to take a moment on the floor, just, hopefully it wasn't getting worse. I had an opportunity just to tie my shoe again and see if I could continue to go, and I was able to continue to go, but it's a little sore right now, and obviously I think it's going to be a little sore tomorrow when I wake up, but obviously I'm a round-the-clock guy when it comes to treatment, so hopefully I'll be ready to go on Tuesday.
LeBron, back to Melo. What's it been like getting him acclimated here, and does the fact that you guys know each other so well and you have the history that you have make that process easier? Yes,
it does. If it's one person that I know more than anybody on this team, it's him, obviously. We've been friends for over 20 years now. So, I know him just as well as he knows himself, and vice versa. And, to have him here every day now, it's just it's a treat for me. It's an honor. It's a gift. And something that we kind of mentioned and talked about just on the fly throughout our careers and things of that nature. But to see it actually here and to see us on the floor making big plays together, it's a pretty cool thing, man.
You guys ran a lot of pick and roll with you and Russ down the stretch, and you had the one play where you hit him on the short roll. He found AD for the dunk. What did you think of that? Frank said that was something you guys have been practicing a lot, and then just kind of the overall execution down the stretch.
We haven't put in our full, I would say, playbook yet. Like you said, we have a new team, so we still are implementing ways where we can be even better offensively. So, that's one of them that we haven't even exploited just yet, that we just put it in tonight, that pick and roll. And, a lot of teams are not going to switch point guards on to me on the perimeter. And, You know, if I'm able to get to Russ on a 3-on-2, his ability to read the game from that position will be with any playmakers in our game. And obviously he showed it, what he was able to do, getting up in the air, getting Adams to take a look at him for a quick second, wrap it around AD for the dunk. So it's something that's going to work very well for our ball club going forward.
Last two. We'll take Evan Barnes on Zoom, and then we'll end with Mark Reed.
Hey, LeBron, kind of going back to facing Zaire. Zaire told us this week it was kind of a surreal moment he was looking forward to playing you, but just after the game or before, did you kind of say anything, or you kind of just, as you said, you kind of see 2 years, like, I'm playing against somebody who played with my son?
No, I didn't get an opportunity to say anything to him. Probably because we were 0-2 and I didn't have time to be communicating with anybody on the opposing team. So we was a little fed up today trying to get a win. It was, like I said earlier, it was a surreal, crazy, just moment, just being out there with him on the floor. And like I said, working out with those guys when I went to Sierra a few times and going to the games and watching them play the way they played that year, my son's freshman year. To see him in the NBA now was, I knew he was a pro his senior year at Sierra. So, I didn't know how long it would take him to get here, but I knew he was a pro right away. So, it was definitely a good moment.
Last question, Mark Medina.
Hey, LeBron, in lieu of Melo's milestone tonight, what do you think is distinguishable with the way he scores compared to, the other top scorers in the history of the game?
The other top scorers in what, in history?
Yeah, among the other top league scorers.
I don't know. I don't even know the list. I know a few guys, but Melo's game is unique in his own right. I mean, he's done it at all facets of the game, in all positions. ISO, he's been one of the best ISO guys that we have in our league. Early in his career, obviously his athleticism, putting guys in the rim, getting to the bucket, but what's always been his mark is his footwork, either off the dribble or before the dribble, being able to create space with quick twitch feet. And his shot is one of the most beautiful releases I've seen in NBA history. I feel like it's going in every single time. So, but he's done it at all facets: the three, the mid range, the low post, the bucket, free throws. Obviously, he's a unique player, and it's just hard to there's nobody that I would say reminds me of him. Even when I played against him for the first time in the Junior Olympics in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and when I seen him, I was 16, he was 17. I came back and told my guys that I just seen the best player I ever seen to that point. And we happened to play them that following year, and they beat us, but it was a good game. But yeah, he's been doing it for quite a while, and it's just beautiful to continue to see.
At that point, but either making a play, getting a stop, and winning the basketball game. But it is. I keep saying this, man. It's an honor, it's a blessing. But to be in that list, to pass Moses, to know what Moses did, what he did for the game of basketball. It's hard to put it in words. I'm still here doing it. I think that's what I actually excited about, that I'm here at year 19, still doing what I'm able to do, still passionate about the game, still passionate about coming to work every day and getting better. And what better night, to reach ninth with a win, the way that we needed a win tonight. So overall, this was a hell of a night.
They give you the game ball, right?
Yeah, they gave me the game ball. They wanted me to make a speech, but it was too tired.
Camilo, this is really only your second game with the Lakers, if we don't count the preseason games. They've embraced you here, the fans have, and the Lakers also show that collage of your history of playing in the league. Does that mean much to you, to have the fans embrace you the way they did, chant your name, and then to have a record here in L.A.?
Yeah, I mean, it's when you again, I haven't really put it all in perspective yet. You know, just coming off this game and trying to decompress from, you know, from the actual game. I didn't have a chance to think about it all, but you know, being here in LA and just the way that the fans embrace me, knowing the battles that I've had in here in LA against the Lakers, just over the years, and again, this happening in year 19, and for these fans to embrace me the way that they're doing, that's just I got to keep going. You know, that keeps me motivated. You know, knowing that I got a supporting cast the way that I have with the fans of Los Angeles.
Melo, you saw what Ja Morant was able to do tonight. I mean, that's a player that's, you know, still elevating, finding his place in the league. You guys have a bunch of guys who are established. What's it like? Kind of, I mean, this is going to feel like it's probably going to be an every night thing, where you're going to see a younger player on the ascent kind of try to give it to you guys. Well, I guess what's it like, kind of being in those fights with guys that are still trying to find their place in the NBA?
Shit, we still trying to find our place too. So we expect to be in games like this, you know, especially now, night in and night out. I think the talent level, you know, throughout the NBA has gotten better. Teams has gotten better. You know, teams are playing faster, and you know, it's showtime every time teams go up against us, and we understand that. We expect that. Somebody like Ja, you know, he's going to continue to get better. You know, his game will continue to elevate. He is the future of this NBA, and he shows that every single night what he's able to bring to the game.
Melo, congrats on your milestone. When you look at the history of the other top scorers in the league, which guys influenced your game the most, and in what ways?
Which guys
influenced your game the most, as far as other top scorers? And
well, they all. I mean, they all brought something to the game, and you know, was able to be productive at a high level. All of those guys. So anybody that is on that list was spectacular, right? They did something special for the game of basketball. They was able to, you know, do something special out there on the court. Scoring a basketball is not easy. You know, we may make it look easy, but it's not easy. And again, for me, it's, you know, this is 19 years of repetition, and night in and night out, day in and day out, every summer, you know, every season. I'm reaping those benefits right now because of the persistence that I have in my professionalism, what I bring to the game, how I approach the game.